let's now look at the questionnaire design process. How do we go about designing it? First of all, we talked about the actual framework as to how we build out the questionnaire. Now we're going to talk about the things we put inside that questionnaire. Always remember, make certain there's a reward for the people that are looking at it. Make certain it costs them almost nothing at all whatsoever in time or any kind of money to finish your questionnaire because it's yours, but also make certain the questions actually are relevant to what you want to have. So now with that as a background, let's look into potential topics, issues, and the items. A group session really would help if you had more than one set of eyes on developing your design. You want to have different people involved because you really have to sit down and have that different aspects of it. But let me give you an illustration. Once upon a time, you may think I'm always an innocent person because they look so happy and so pleasant. Okay, I've done some things once in a while that aren't necessarily really good. One time I had a dean and him and I just didn't get along. And so we had conflict. And one time in a meeting, I'm talking to at a conference and talking about the aspect of teamwork and how to get along. And all of a sudden in the back of my head, I'm thinking, you really are a hypocrite. Well, I found out when I got back from that conference, I had sent out a perfect one-page memo. And when I got the memo, I looked at it and I had 3 faculty members call up my office because they had questions about my perfect memo. Well, it kind of dawned on me, maybe my memo wasn't so perfect. So I went down to this dean who him and I didn't get along because we didn't see eye to eye. We probably thought totally differently. I says, can you help me out in this? Why should I do that? I says, I'm not quite certain why I'm going to ask you anyway. So I gave him a perfect memo. My next batch was going to go out. And I said, can you sit down and help rewrite this? He put on 2 paragraphs on my perfect memo that were totally ridiculous in my mind. And I sent it out to the whole college. I didn't get one person asking a question. They didn't ask a question because of the fact that even though I thought that I had the whole thing perfectly covered, his 2 paragraphs of stuff that I thought was unnecessary added stuff to the memo so people who thought differently than I do actually could understand what the memo said. From that point forward, I've always taken my serious different writings I have, and I have at least one person proofread it to make certain they understand it. You have no idea how valuable this aspect is. A group session, we talk about a design, here's what you want, and you help people, have people help you express what you want to have in the question. Even though you think you may be communicating what you think you're communicating, sometimes you don't quite get it right because you're a human. Last time I checked, hopefully, I don't think any dogs or cats are listening to this, but the reality in the aspect of being human, sometimes having more minds working on the project makes it a higher quality, and that's what you want. Construct a first draft with actual questions in sequence. You want to start, first of all, having your draft, then laying out what you want, because you want to have questions at the beginning that are super easy and also fun to answer, and then get more detailed later on and get people more interested in it. So be cautious about how you have it, but structure it as a first draft with real questions. Make it clear and easy. Then circulate a second draft. Even after you're all done, everybody's worked with it, you're ready to go out, but you want to have another double check on it. And if you have a chance to let your group look at it again, do it, pre-test, and then finalize it and administer. I can't emphasize how often you should edit. You want to have the least amount of words possible. Don't waste people's time with sloppy language. Eliminate needless words. Keep it tight. Keep it sharp. If you can, make it fun. People like fun things and they respond much better. Revisit your objectives once you're all done. Make certain that your objectives are being met by the questions. Have different topics. Generate specific questions. Have close-ended questions. You don't want to have people wanting to give you a paragraph because, to be honest, they're not going to give you a paragraph after the first or second time. They're going to sit down and get right or not finish it, which is not what you want. So if you can have yes and no, have it easy to rate things. When you're phrasing questions, even at an early level like this, we're talking about generating content, okay, you want to gain perspective on what the crucial topics are being covered. Don't think they're going to answer a 12-question survey unless there's money involved. I get people sending me surveys, and I get compensation for it. Somebody sent me a survey about something, they valued my opinion to the point they gave me $100 over it because I spent 10 minutes doing the survey for them. I like that. I'm happy to do that. You toss in something in what's in it for me, all of a sudden now I'm interested. Or if I can have a trip to Bali, yes, yes. Except usually those come with all kinds of ties and twists and everything else, and life isn't good, okay, even in Bali. So review answering your categories, make sure you keep an eye on the data you're collecting, and are those the right questions for your objectives? Make certain the phrasing matters only if the correct topic is there. Will the respondent understand the question? Use simple words and a simple syntax. The highest level you should have for your questions is about an 8th grade reading level. People over time, they don't want to have to think too hard. So keep it easy, keep it enough that people can answer simply off the top of their heads without thinking deeply. It'll make it interesting, and keep the syntax simple as you go through all of your questions when you're designing this. Use words not open to varied interpretations. What is your income? Well, which one, my gross income or my net income? What about my taxes? Well, don't sit down and leave open questions as what is your spendable income? But keep it simple, keep it right to the point. By the time you're all done, don't try to give a lot of different details. Keep your adjectives for your nouns crisp and clear without you having to sit down and having somebody trying to figure out what you're asking for. Okay, do they know the answer? Will they be willing and able to respond accurately? Avoid loaded questions. Try not to be controversial. Don't let them think that you're scheming in some way to take their money, trying to take their bank account numbers. You don't want any of that. So get rid of the marginal language and the sloppy language. Make it clear what you are asking them for. Avoid using words like always, never. Those words simply don't exist. When you're talking about real life, most of life is a gray area, especially for you, because you are at this point a researcher. You're trying to avoid the extremes. You want to get them to express themselves. Avoid negative contractions as you best can. You want to have neutral language as much as you can. Reduce and get rid of the anxiety. Keep it simple, fast, easy. Know your demographic that you're asking about and what the response is going to probably be, but you want to sit down there and ask the questions in a way that I give them freedom to respond. The whole thing comes is the how you design it. If you can, have a group do it as well, but you want to reduce and have no anxiety whatsoever in your questionnaire. Take care.